I'm out setting up a rut stand today, and this is one of my favorite types of rut stand setups. So let me show you what I'm up to, because I think this could be a dynamite spot come November. Alright, first let's look at the location. So you can see I am in some thick cover here. This is actually the most open spot right here, but it transitions into dense early successional growth with scattered spruce. Now in this area there are a ton of deer beds. So you got one there, there. I mean, they are all over in here. And as it transitions into the woody cover, there are even more. So right now the deer are bedding right here because it's a little bit more open, but a lot of this cover will fall down once the frost hits it and the snow starts to fly. But all that early successional woody growth is going to hold, and that's going to be good viable cover in the fall. And you can see we got all the scattered spruce in here as well, so it makes for really strong thermal cover. So this is about a 4-acre area of what I would say is pure bedding. I mean, there's a few little open pockets like this, but for the most part this is a very strong deer bedding location, especially in the fall. So what I have is basically one tree that I can hang a stand in. This is going to be the definition of a poor man tree right here. I'm not going to be able to get very high in it, but it's my only option. I like this tree because northwest is that way, so my northwest wind is going to blow from that way out over the neighbor's pasture, because you can see there's a fence line right there. That's the property line. We have Amish neighbors, and this is all pastured right there. So that's not an area that the deer are going to be able to hang out, but I'm going to be able to sit and sneak in on the back side of all this bedding, get up in this tree and wait for everything to filter from that direction and that direction. Alright, the stand is in place. It is definitely the definition of poor man's stand. Like I said, it's probably up 10 feet, doesn't have a seat, and I just had some screw and steps lying around, so that's what I threw in the tree. You got to work with what you got. Kind of decided to do this one on a whim here, and last time I did that I shot a 180-inch buck, so never know what could happen. Let's go see what it looks like from the stand. Alright, there's our view. First shooting lanes right there, kind of going right down the line. That is oats right now, so that will be out by the time deer season rolls around. So we'll have a nice strong access cutting in through that oat stubble. You can see the yard site's actually right there. This was a 4-acre field at one point in my lifetime, and now it is very thick, beautiful bedding. I mean, look at that. Just looks gorgeous. So got a couple of looks, one there, and I have another one right there. But this whole thing is set up because it's downwind on a northwest wind, downwind of bedding. So what's going to happen is the bucks will cruise the downwind side of all this early successional growth looking for does, and I'm going to be sitting here right at the old backstop property line behind me waiting for them. So I can wait for them to filter from that way. There's food out that direction, so this will be a morning sit, so they should be out on the food in the morning, but I can wait for them to filter from that direction. And again, I have a very short access to jump into this one. So this is one that's kind of been a long time coming as far as getting this one in place. I've just been waiting for this habitat to get to that point where it's holding deer, and it definitely is holding deer now. We see a lot of deer come out of here even in the fall. So I want to have this stand in place. May not even hunt it. It's just here because I want the option. Because I think if I have a buck in the area that I want to hunt, I have a good feeling that he'll be in here during the rut. I mean, just look at how thick this stuff is here. I mean, this used to be all field. It's just crazy to see what nature can do when you let it do its thing. This is fantastic bedding. There's the bed right there. The deer love this spot. The does love this spot. So I know if the girls are going to be here, that's where the guys are going to be during the rut. So I needed to get set up and be able to hunt this, at least have that option to hunt it. Now, there's just a quick peek at it from the outside. You can see it's pretty thick all the way around here. Like I said, I got the oats right here. I'm going to access right along that manure pit, straight out of the old yard site. Slip in up in that corner. So, should be a pretty strong access, and I should be able to see what's going on in this entire 4-acre bedding area. Because if they're moving during the rut, eventually they're going to slip on that backside and then check the whole thing. I should get a look. So with rut stands, you should always be thinking, where are the does going to be, and where can I set up on a northwest wind? Because at least here in Minnesota, the predominant wind during the rut is going to be your northwest, as long as we get a cold rut. And it's your cold front, so those are the nights you should be on stand anyway, because those are the nights the deer are really going to be moving. So I like setting up those northwest wind, backside of bedding stand locations when possible. Now, I'm not saying every property it'll work that way, but if you have the bedding and the setup where you can get a stand behind that bedding, you're going to be in the action during the rut. So, all right, y'all take care. God bless.